Liam Casey with the Canadian Press. Morning, Doug.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
You're making announcements about actions you're taking as Premier to fight tariffs, then campaigning on those very same actions hours later as PC leader. Are you using your government announcements to boost your re-election campaign?
No, not at all. I'm here as Premier to protect the people of Ontario. I'm going to do everything I can to protect their jobs, protect people, protect communities, protect businesses, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
On the Starlink deal, can you actually cancel the Starlink deal right now, or do you have to wait until a new government is formed after the election?
We haven't paid a penny. I think it starts in June, the contract. But I'm not going to support someone that is hell-bent on destroying our province, destroying people's families, taking jobs away from them. We're done with that. We never started this fight whatsoever, but we're going to win this fight.
Premier Sean Jefford, CBC News. Just wanted to ask you about the Starlink deal as well. Is this really about poking Elon Musk in the eye and making President Trump's friends feel pain during this process?
Well, President Trump is the only person to be blamed. Maybe Elon Musk can call his buddy, and this is one of the ramifications. This is the ramifications when we stop selling $1 billion worth of liquor. And that goes across the country. A lot of premiers have called me up and said they're doing exactly the same. Tim Houston is doing it, and other provinces are doing it, and I encourage them to do it. I think this is a Team Canada approach. We have to stay united, and we have to make sure that we protect, in our case, Ontario jobs and Canadian jobs. That's what this is about.
We also understand that Cabinet, prior to the dissolution of government, passed an economic action plan. To this point, you've been hesitant to release any details of that. Now that the tariffs are officially in place, will you do that? Can you tell us what is in that plan?
Well, I know Caroline Mulroney and Peter Bethlenfalvy before the election, obviously President of Treasury, Finance Minister, but we made a massive announcement with SDF funding over $1 billion to retrain people. And a lot of that money in other areas will go to tradespeople, go to the firefighters to retrain firefighters as well. We need to keep the money here. That's on top of the $1.5 billion of SDF funding that we had prior to this. So again, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure we secure and protect Ontario jobs. And on top of that, there's $30 billion of procurement that we just aren't going to use American companies. And no matter if we're building a hospital, if we're building anything, we could be building a doghouse, I want to make sure that we're using Ontario steel, Canadian products, Canadian wood, Ontario wood, anything. I don't care if it's a toothpick. We need to purchase from Canada and Ontario. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm encouraging all 444 municipalities to do exactly the same. We're spending $200 billion on infrastructure, building the roads. I need every single stone, every piece of gravel, every piece of rebar that goes into these highways bought by Ontario companies. That's the number one priority. If we can't get in Ontario, then we'll focus across Canada. That's what we're going to do to protect the people of Ontario, protect jobs here, and protect the communities.
Good morning, Rob Ferguson, Toronto Star.
Hi, Rob.
Hello. Just wanted to ask, with all this going on, so much turmoil, wasn't it reckless to call in an early election? You can't do anything really right now.
Well, I totally disagree. I just pulled off $1 billion from LCBO shelves of U.S. products. We're making sure that all procurements, $30 billion. This is 25 days left, Rob. You know, this gives us a strong 4-year mandate to outlive and outlast the Trump administration. People want certainty. I'm out in the international media every single day. I was on Fox, going on CNN, going back on Fox. What I'm doing, I'm getting the message out to the American people. President Trump, this was a misguided decision that he's making. With all the turmoil going around the entire world, and he wants to spend his time and effort attacking his closest friend and his treasured ally, and he wants to come after us. It's not the American people, by the way. I speak to a lot of Americans. I speak to a lot of elected officials. I have yet to hear one official, one American citizen saying, Canada's the problem. Do you know what the problem is? China's the problem, bringing in cheap goods into Mexico, slapping on Made in Mexico stickers, shipping them up into Canada, costing American and Canadian jobs. That has to end. We need to protect Canada. But doesn't it make common sense that if you want to create a fortress, create an AMCAN fortress, when China is actually cutting them off on their critical minerals and they have nowhere to go, they're going to be coming to Ontario to get those critical minerals, no matter if it's cobalt or lithium or nickel and every other critical mineral that we have. We have the largest mining sector in the world. And with the trade show coming, PDAC, everyone in the world is coming to Ontario in the next week or so.
But we could be in a situation by the end of the week where, according to people in the auto parts industry, like Linda Hasenfratz at Linamar, that auto parts companies and auto assembly plants could be shut down by the end of the week because of this, and you'll be basically handcuffed for another 3 weeks because there's no election, presuming you win the election.
Well, let's say we're going to do everything we can as we're standing here. If any emergencies come, I'll reconvene cabinet. That's not an unusual request. But the most important thing is making sure we get the message down to the U.S. I'm going to be heading down there with a team of premiers on the 11th and 12th, heading back there on the 20th. I'm on the phone every single day with elected officials and companies in the U.S. And again, all they're saying, this is not good. It's going to create inflation. It's going to make Americans poor. This is a tax on American citizens. That's what Donald Trump is doing to his own people.